Guys, I'm back. So this is gonna be a little bit of a struggle since I already tried making this video, but my phone timed out on me and messed up. So yeah, we're redoing it. This is what if Frieza raised Goku. Now, from the get-go, things are going way different. So whenever whenever Bardock is fighting Frieza, he's impressed. This is the first person to ever do this. And this version, it was about like at the age of 4, whenever Goku accidentally killed his grandfather. But in this version, when he did it, it was completely different than what he was expecting. This is when Frieza would pop in and actually would tell Goku what happened, about the Ozaru transformation, about his father's death, about his entire family dying, except for his older brother. But saying he couldn't meet his older brother as his older brother was in the army. He couldn't really do that. Saying, could he be a soldier? And then this is when he was told no. While he was able to, he was not supposed to at such a young age. He couldn't viably do it as weak as he was. This is when Goku said, I'm too weak, and I accidentally killed my grandfather. Enraged by this, in tears, he said, can you teach me how to be strong, mister? And this is when Frieza would say, of course, my boy. Starting years of training. Now, from the age of 4 to the age of 12, whenever Goku got, taken with by, Bulma, that's 8 years. That's 8 full years. And you're not going to tell me 8 full years of training with Frieza wouldn't turn Goku into an absolute monster. So, at the end of the training, so we're doing a little time skip to when that day happens. Now we're going to go to the day before that. As we see Goku sparring with Frieza in his third form, and Goku powered up to everything he has in base, and then saying, as he powers up into this false Super Saiyan form, saying, I will win, Frieza. As he's actually starting to keep up to about a dead stalemate with Frieza's third form. But then something happens. Even though Frieza's just in his third form, he's still and being about dead stalemate with this one. This is when Frieza popped out his final form, saying, "Oh, you will you?" Keeping into a dead stalemate with power. But then Goku collapses and hits the ground, looking more like Teen Gohan, like the 11-year-old Gohan, than he did whenever he was a child. Being as powerful as he is, he looked at Frieza, and Frieza picked him up, saying, "Come on, son, let's go home." Which at this point, Goku started calling Frieza Dad, and that kind of seems weird to most, but whatever. Now, this is when Bulma pops up, and this version, Frieza said, "Alright, well, I have to go to space. I'll be back as soon as possible, my son. Until then, remember, I'm only a phone call away," as he tossed him the scouter. "Yes, father." Which is when Frieza winds up flying off in his spaceship after they leave. And this is when Goku taps it and actually connects to his brother, who he had barely talked to over the years, saying, "Hello, Raditz. Hello, Kakarot. You know I get called Goku, right? I don't care, it's not your Saiyan name. Now, are you still with Frieza?" "No, he just had to leave. I'm going off with this one girl for an adventure. Trying to see what the world can do to swing at me." "Aw, makes sense. Well, talk to you later, brother. I have to go to my conquering thing." "Alright." Now, little did he know that this was one of the last times he ever got to talk to his son. Now, about 2 days later is when Raditz phones in saying, "Hello, brother. Tell me." "You know what, never mind. Goodbye." As he just hung up, and then communications had stopped with this line, which confused Goku, saying, did Raditz block him or something? Not having a way to tell him anything, was like, alright. But then, Raditz did something that was unexpected. At this point, he didn't really Goku was kind of sad about it, but he went to do his normal thing. So, his ego is differently. Anytime Goku would need to fight, it's basically completely different. But anytime he's hungry, he's still completely weak. Yeah, he still will struggle a little bit against Yamcha and all that, but he will still turn them into allies and all that. That'll still go the same. But he is an absolute merciless fighter. Like, if you thought, like, Tien breaking, like, Yamcha's leg was merciless, whenever Goku had saw what happened to his buddy Yamcha, he was fighting, and he didn't get disqualified or nothing. Like, he literally waited until after the tournament, after he had beaten Tenshinhan, and he basically said, "Hey, Tenshinhan, come here." And they just snapped both of Tenshinhan's legs and arms, saying, "How about now, bitch?" And then breaking both, and then saying, "Make those other two arms pop up." Tenshinhan doing it as he's just trying not to get hurt, as Goku stomps the other ones, saying, "I remember, if you ever want to hurt my friends again, I will do 10 times what you did to them." And then just tossed him for Chaozu and them to take. As bad as he just got beaten, he actually kind of respects Goku. He protects his friends above all else. Then Goku sees something unexpected. Basically, whenever he had to deal with Piccolo, he still let him spit out the egg. That wasn't a big deal. Time skip still happens. Gohan still is born, but he was taught to be both a scholar and a fighter, so he can protect himself. Saying that there's a guy named Piccolo who could put even Goku, who is very powerful. Maybe not to Goku, but to everyone else he sure was. Leading Gohan to train with Goku a little bit, not much. Only getting his power level to about 7,000. If you're thinking that's way too high for Gohan, remember, this is a version of Goku who, around 11 years old, was able to keep up with Frieza in his third form, with only this thing he liked to call false Super Saiyan. Because Frieza knew the legend about it having golden hair, yada yada yada. No, it's not. It doesn't have that. But then, Goku was taught his own path, and would protect himself above all others. But he had cared for his friends for years. And then, whenever Raditz came back, his power level, basically, I know his power level was 14,000, was 1,400, but we're going to add an extra 0 to that, so, you know, we can make him somewhat more relevant, making it 14,000. And he said, "What's up?" And then, this is when the whole thing about the wish and all that stuff comes true. Now, Goku knows his brother, and he winds up actually dying in this. His brother dies in this fight, but Goku wants to revive him. But then he's given an option to train with a god, saying, "Sure, but let my brother train with him too." Saying, "Alright." As they go train Raditz is revived, they go train there, saying they've got a year until Raditz and Vegeta get there. It's not till Nappa and Vegeta get there. It's not really going to be a big deal. They're just doing a little bit of light training. So they go to the 10 times thing, and they're not even struggling at first. Like, they're a little bit surprised by it, but they're not really overwhelmed. Now, they are kind of heavy. They're kind of struggling a little bit as Goku takes off his weighted shirt, which weighed, like, an unnormal amount, and just dropped it, overwhelming everyone. He took his boots off, and his gauntlet, and his wristbands, which Raditz saying, "Alright, so I see you do that training as well, brother." As he took off his dropping them, which was heavy, his boots, heavy, and his chest plate, super heavy, dropping them making just as big as Crash as his little brothers. Saying he'd done nothing but try to train to keep up with his little brother at this point. Which they did the sparring, they learned the Kaioken and all that. But then, they come back a year later. And this is when Goku he found something out. Being raised by Frieza gave Goku a want to fight. But this is when Vegeta said what actually happened to their home planet. It wasn't a meteorite. It was Frieza. He blew their planet up. But they're going to go to Namek so they can get wishes. So they can get a wish. Goku saying that the ones on Earth wouldn't be good for another few days because, you know, made a wish. Besides, making someone immortal, apparently I think the Namekian ones, there would be stronger, so they might work for that, but I don't think these ones will. Goku just kind of made it up, so he'd stop going after it on Earth. So they wound up all going to Namek. But the humans, hearing that Frieza told them something. I will be there, and I see you, my son. He put in quotation marks with a sigh. I'll be there to take you out as well. Damn monkeys. Goku saying, try me, Frieza. I've done nothing but get stronger these years that you've been gone. And I found the truth out that you killed my parents. Nah, we running them ones now. Hearing this, Frieza said, you could ever barely keep up with my third form. You never could keep up with my final. Even in your little false Super Saiyan. Goku laughed, saying, oh, you think that was funny? Oh, we'll see. As they vanish, they get there, that whole thing happens. But Goku gets there a little bit later since he's on a different ship to train on the ship. And he still rode that alone. But Nappa and Raditz would go with Vegeta. As they came back, they went there and got there. That wasn't really a big deal. But then, whenever they got to, to Namek, they see something unexpected. They have to do the whole thing, and there's even Krillin, Yamcha, and Tien are all there to help. Because they're actually way stronger in this version. But then, something completely unexpected happens. As Piccolo is there too, sure, but that's only because Goku's kind of taught him, kind of understanding his ways. And now he's going to get revenge on the person who killed his parents. But he's going to struggle to do so. As he was right, he'd never been able to keep up with that final form, saying its power level may even be above what he is right now. But this is when something happened. His friend of all time, Krillin, had given him support. They get there, that whole thing happens. The Ginyu Force pop up, that's a little bit of a pain. Not much of one. As, Raditz alone could probably kill them with little, effort at all. But Nappa, he's struggling to keep up with everyone. Other than the humans, he can somewhat keep up with them. Barely, though. But then we have to deal with the whole thing with Captain Ginyu trying to switch bodies. And in this version, when he tries switching bodies, the first one he goes to is trying to get with trying to take Ratz's or Vegeta or someone. But when he tries that, you just hear, nope, 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 nope. And he just keeps getting a body or having someone weaker thrown in front of him. And then he tried switching bodies with Goku, and that was gonna be successful, but then when he tried it, a frog, which Vegeta threw, was in the way, which then Vegeta made sure to kill the original body of Ginyu, leaving him as a frog. But he also took a powerful blast and just boom, blowing it up. Now, this made things a little bit difficult, but not crazy difficult. While Ginyu was now dead, there was a little bit of a pain to deal with. The Z Warriors did have to do a few things. Now, being that the only one that died in this version is Krillin, is because whenever Frieza saw that, saying, oh, how fruitless, son, as he launched a death beam right into Krillin's chest, saying, oh, was that your best friend? Oh, I'll deal with the other ones as well, sending one into Yin and Yamcha. All three of them being sitting up in the sky looking eye to eye, as they all blew up at once. This made Goku open his eyes, seeing no pupils, as he enragedly powers up into Super Saiyan. And then Frieza says, no, you kidding me? I literally raised the legend to defeat me? No! As he went into his final form, even to 100% trying to stop Goku, as Goku was completely stopping his hand, saying, You killed my family. You killed me, my best friends. You raised me to be a killer. I will end you, Frieza! As he basically charged at full speed, even beating down on Frieza, which would have killed Frieza if, Frieza didn't blow up the planet. If they didn't get off the planet, that whole thing would be normal for everyone, as there was that last wish. But in this version, the first wish was, was going to be to make someone immortal or any of that, whatever. But in this version, the first wish was completely different. The first wish was to revive Krillin, which Krillin said, nah, I'm good. Then it'd be Yamcha, nah, he's good too. Yamcha said, sure. And then Tien said, me as well. And then, hearing this, they're like a little bit surprised, saying, what about you, Krillin? Nah, use that last wish to get use that last wish. As they revived Krillin, which wasn't a big deal, which they were about to revive Krillin when Krillin said no. Make a wish on the Earth Dragon Balls to revive everyone who was killed by them, by the Frieza soldiers on Namek. And then use that wish to use that last wish to send them all to Earth, everyone to Earth except for Goku and Frieza. Hearing this, Dende did that. Anyway, Dende did this, and they all go there, and that whole thing happens, and Dende still kind of became the guardian of Earth, and that was mainly because... Hold on. Let's go to that one. So they just still do the work, they still do the training thing, Goku wins, goes to Yardrat, learns it in transmission, does that whole thing, and powers up. Where he was unexpected to ever get. He got to the power of a true, powerful being. He became powerful enough to rival even Frieza in base. So in Super Saiyan, he was absolutely overwhelming him. But whenever, like, Frieza in Mecha form goes there, he actually has his brother there as well, with his father as well. It is Frieza, Cooler, and King Cold. Now, there's some fan art that shows Frieza with another brother, which is called Chilled, which, it just has a little spike on his head. Not full-on spikes in his final form, just one little spike on his head. And he's said to be almost as powerful as Frieza, which I'm going to incorporate him into this video just because. Now, even if they're non-canon, I still like them as characters, so we're going to do that. So when these 4 Frost Demons get there, they're talking smack, they're going to do this, they're going to do that, they're going to kill all of them. But then, before Goku even pulls up, this is when future Trunks pulls up, saying how everything's going to go wrong in about 2 years' time. Goku's going to get a heart virus and die, and in about 1 year after that, yada yada yada, androids appear, yada yada yada, this town, yada yada yada, whatever. That kind of happens, and they do training for this and everything, saying that these are powerful androids, and yada yada yada, Goku's even, yada yada yada, whatever. Then, Goku just opens his eyes. He still wound up getting the heart virus and everything, but this version is a little bit later, when they're fighting the androids, but then, he still gets the heart medicine, he takes it and everything when he gets the virus. Anyway, he gets there and said whatever. And then, whenever the whole thing with Goku happened, that was kind of a pain, but not really a full one. But then, we've got to deal with the whole, the actual 3 androids that were threats. When Goku got back up, that was the whole thing. But then things going as canon for Intel, Cell got 17 the same way. Then he got everyone else. Right when Vegeta goes to, basically just lets him get 18, kind of pisses him off as this happened. It just kind of enrages 3 people. Trunks, Raditz, And what other character would it be? Yeah, everyone else. As they see Vegeta get whooped and everything, and then whenever they all kind of go over, Cell games still happen, Gohan still is the reason why they win. Now, Gohan will somewhat still train in this version. He won't be as anti-training after this happens anyway. But in this version, Goku was told there were so many people already on Earth, he didn't need to be there. Which, they said alright, but then 7 years later, Boo happens, and that's a whole pain. But when Boo came out of but in this version, everyone's so much stronger than they were in canon, that whenever Gohan sees Videl getting beaten down by Spovovich, by whatever his name was, I think it was Povich or whatever, first thing that happened was he basically just jolted in Super Saiyan 2, which he already has complete access to, mind you. Everyone does. Goku even has access to Super Saiyan 3. Noting that it kind of made his hair look like Raditz's, which Raditz was like, shut up, Goku. Which, right whenever Goku bull charges up, like, that's still, it kind of opens that up still. Now, this made it where some of the Z Fighters really wouldn't be able to go in there because their punch power was not good enough. Now, everyone was kind of just throwing hands, doing their whole thing. That wasn't really a big deal. But then, they did something unexpected. They started to deal with Kid Buu and all that. It went kind of normal. No one really made much of a difference in that one. It took the whole Vegito thing happening still, which actually had another counter. There was more than just Vegito there. There was another being, a more powerful one, which was a fusion between uncle and nephew, doing the same fusion dance as his father/brother, and the prince. They find a way to fuse into Gozit? Nah. It's Radhan or something. It's Radhan is what I'm going with. Which Radhan power is basically equivalent to the Vegito, so yeah, but with long hair drenching down his back. But anyway, not really a big deal. Going back then, they kind of destroy the whole, Boo thing, which is kind of a pain, but not really a big deal. So yeah. Then, they notice something. They deal with this, deal with that. Goku gets revived again. Gohan gets the ultimate form still. And then we've got the whole time skip to Super, and that kind of goes way different. So one, Boo is still there. That kind of happens still. Raditz, he's there, but like Gohan's still there Goku's still there training, Super Saiyan 3 against Beerus, that happens. But then, we have a whole different thing. And that whole different thing is that an unexpected Super Warrior appeared. Sorry if y'all can hear the wind so bad, guys. I'm just kind of having to film outside anyway. So, Goku turns into the Super Saiyan God. But noting they have a lot more people left. And they found out that Videl was pregnant anyway. So that made it where they had so many extra Saiyans. They had 2 extra... Hold on a second, guys. They had the entire extra group. So they were able to make at least another Saiyan. Super Saiyan God, which they actually wound up choosing Prince Vegeta. Boom. And this is without even any bill that one girl is pregnant. Videl. So yeah, that happened normally. So Goku and Vegeta in Super Saiyan God both were beating the absolute crap. Now you might be thinking, so you're basically stealing a win that Vegeta got, by getting himself. Actually, Vegeta doesn't get Super Saiyan God. It's Gohan. He's given Super Saiyan God, and he is helping as he can. Because it's still his wife on the end and his child. Which, hearing that there's another one, thinking, should they turn someone else into Super Saiyan God? This is when Vegeta said, Raditz, go. As they all gave Raditz the energy and everything, as Raditz flies up in Super Saiyan God as well, saying, the Super Saiyan God was supposed to be a myth, a legend, a powerful opponent. And now there's 3. Come here. But they're all kind of pure-hearted, so yeah, it's able to work. As they all fly forward and kind of start swinging it, you know, right when one falls out of Super Saiyan God, the next one would jump in. And then again. But right whenever they all finally fell out of Super Saiyan God, Goku would power into Super Saiyan, but thinking he really needed it, he powered into Super Saiyan 3. So did Gohan went into his ultimate form. And then, you know, Raditz would go into Super Saiyan 3 as well, because he only has that. And they all charge forward, which they are basically just giving it everything they've got. And even in Super Saiyan 3 forms, like Super Saiyan 3 leveled forms, seeing Vegeta actually saying, you know what, let's go. Seeing this as they are all kind of doing this, and then Beerus actually powered up into his like 50%, which is what he felt he had to deal with right then, as he basically knocked all of them back. But this kind of took a lot of energy out of him. He said, you know what, I won, so I'm going to destroy, boom, this rock. I'll be back. For pudding. And then, not really caring, saying it wasn't really a big deal. As they left, you know, normal stuff. 6 months later, which Vegeta has been training with Whis, which upset Goku. He went to train with Whis. Then, Gohan wanted to train with the Kais, while Nappa and Raditz wanted to train with Beerus as well. But then Nappa sadly would get old and start going gray and saying, you know what, I'm the oldest Saiyan out of everyone here. I was a grown man whenever your father, King Vegeta, was a kid. I think I'm done. As they give him a proper Saiyan burial as he dies of old age. That's why Nappa's bald, because he's that old. As he went down to rest, wishing for a proper Saiyan burial, which was basically just everyone lighting their full force up and would blast him above, like, the moon, which is what he wanted, so yeah, they kind of just blew him up in front of the moon, with all the power and ki they had at once, which was kind of a big, sad moment for them. Oh, and in this one, they don't even need Frieza for the Tournament of Power. But basically, the entire thing just has Raditz there to do whatever is needed. Now, at this point, the whole, like, Monaka thing, no big deal. That was still a fight, Goku won it, whatever. But then we've got the whole fight, which happened with, you know, with Resurrection at Frieza. In this version, Goku's still kind of conflicted about what happened. He only fought Frieza last time in a blind rage after he'd killed his friends. But now, this was still the man who raised him. But Raditz being enraged about the man who took his brother from him, winds up actually killing Frieza instantly with his most powerful Super Saiyan Blue Kamehameha, or Double Sunday, which kind of killed Frieza, but that was about all. Now, this did make it for, like, the final moment, but then we've got the Tournament of Power, and that Tournament of Power does nowhere near what happened in canon. So they have no Frieza, they have, you know, Raditz instead. And the only big difference this made is because Gohan didn't get jumped by Frost and Frieza. It's just Raditz who's helping Gohan jump Frost. This made it easily for them, and they basically wound up going out with a Super Saiyan Blue Raditz bull charging right into Jiren in a Sonic the Hedgehog style, while Goku and Ultra Instinct was fighting him off, barely on his feet, and Vegeta in Super Saiyan Blue Evolution was fighting him as well. Just for them to all kind of bull tackle him, as 17 was still declared the winner, and their wish was still decided to, revive all the universes. But in the Broly movie, things go way different. The first thing that happened whenever Broly jumped out there was that his hand was caught by a only Saiyan who probably could stand eye to eye with him other than Nappa. So yeah, Nappa knew he could stand eye to eye with him. Raditz remembered that maybe Nappa could stand eye to eye with him, and he knew he could as well. As he looked down and saying, hey, eye to eye with him, saying, hey, calm down. Look. Now, I'm not going to say that there wouldn't be a plan to get these guys anyway, so yeah, that was the whole pain. Which was decided by the Frieza Force in Berry Blue, which whatever. That just made it where these ones came, trying to destroy Earth, that was the whole thing, but they didn't work at all. They decided to go away, and then Goku still winded up teleporting up with them, going, here you go, food, yeah, whatever. But then saying, remember, if you ever need any help, we're here. Which, by the way, I don't know any other arc, so I'm sorry guys, that's about it.